Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you guys? So on this chance, me and my two partners are going to present the biology assignment that we have been working on regarding cell structure. So here we go. What is a cell? A cell is the structural fundamental unit of life. Cells are the building blocks of all living beings. They provide structure to the body and convert the nutrients taken from the food into energy. Cells are complex, and their components perform various functions in an organism. Cells are the lowest level of organization in every life form. Next, the detailed cell structure. First, here we have the cell membrane. The cell membrane, also called the plasma membrane, is found in all cells and separates the interior of the cell from the outside environment. 2. The protoplasm. The protoplasm is a living part of a cell that is surrounded by a plasma membrane. It is a mixture of small molecules such as ions, monosaccharides, amino acid, and macromolecules such as proteins, polysaccharides, lipids, etc. 3. The cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is all of the material within a eukaryotic cell, enclosed by the cell membrane except for the cell nucleus. And last, the cytosol. Cytosol is known as the matrix of cytoplasm. It surrounds the cell organelles in eukaryotes, but in prokaryotes, all the metabolic reactions occur here. And next, I'm gonna explain it to you. What is the endosymbiotic theory? The endosymbiotic theory gives an explanation for how eukaryote cells could have evolved from prokaryote cells that lived in symbiosis. There was an idea that says chloroplasts and mitochondria were once an independent organisms that merged into a symbiotic relationship. They got engulfed by the larger prokaryotes. Nonetheless, instead of getting digested, they live with a symbiotic bond. This is believed to be the ancestor's heterotroph of a eukaryotic cell. Eventually, some of these cells engulfed the small bacteria that could do photosynthesis in addition, and there was more living as symbionts. This is believed to be the ancestor autograph of eukaryote cell. The theories say that mitochondria is also likely to develop first before chloroplasts. Facts that support this theory is both mitochondria and chloroplasts have their own DNA, and their own DNA is arranged in a similar way to prokaryote DNA. And next, the organelles. Organelles are specialized structures that perform various jobs inside cells. The term literally means little organs. And what are the kinds of the organelles? First, the cell membrane. The structure of the plasma membrane, it is regarded as the fluid mosaic model. According to the fluid mosaic model, the plasma membranes are subcellular structure made of a lipid bilayer in which the protein molecules are embedded. 2. The chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are oval-shaped and have two membranes, an outer membrane and an inner membrane. The space within the inner membrane is the stroma, the dense fluid within the chloroplast. Chloroplasts converts light energy into relatively stable chemical energy via the photosynthetic process. And third, the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranous canals filled with fluid. They are a transport system of the cell, involved in transporting materials throughout the cell. There are two different types of endoplasmic reticulum, which is the rough one and the smooth one. The rough ER are composed of cisternae, tubules, and vesicles, which are found throughout the cell and are involved in protein manufacture. And the smooth ER are the storage organelle associated with the production of lipids, steroids, and also responsible for detoxifying the cell.
Differences between smooth ER and rogue ER. Smooth ER has no ribosomes, makes and stores lipids and steroids. Rogue ER is covered in ribosomes and it makes and stores proteins. The similarity between smooth ER and rogue ER is they can make cellular materials. 4. Nucleus. The nucleus controls and regulates the activities of the cell and carries the genes, structures that contain the hereditary information. The nucleus is composed of various structures, namely nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm of nucleus, subnuclear matrix, chromatin, and nucleolus. 5. Mitochondria. Mitochondria are called the powerhouses of the cell as they produce energy-rich molecules for the cell. Mitochondria have a double membrane arrangement which separates the organelle into 4 distinct compartments: the outer membrane, the intermembrane space, the inner membrane, and the matrix. 6. Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is a membrane-bound organelle which is mainly composed of a series of flattened stacked and pouches called cisternae. The cell organelle is primarily responsible for transporting, modifying, and packaging proteins and lipids to target destination.
Okay, next we have ribosomes. So ribosomes are non-membrane bound. Ribosomes mainly composed of 2 or third of RNA and 1 or third of protein. The primary function of the ribosomes includes protein synthesis in all living cells that ensure the survival of the cell. Next, we have cytoskeleton. So basically, the cytoskeleton of a cell is made up of microtubules, actin filaments, and intermediate filaments. These structures give the cell its shape and help organize the cell's parts. In addition, they provide a basis for movement and cell division. In the next slide, we have cilia and flagella. Cilia are hair-like projections, small structures present outside the cell wall, and work like oars to either move to the cell or the extracellular fluid. Flagella are slightly bigger and are responsible for the cell movements. The core of the cilium and flagellum is called an axoneme, which contains 9 pairs of gradually arranged peripheral microtubules and a set of central microtubules running parallel to the axis. For the 10, we have vacuoles. Vacuoles are mostly defined as storage bubbles of irregular shapes which are found in cells. They are fluid-filled organelles enclosed by a membrane. The vacuole stores the food or a variety of nutrients that a cell might need to survive. In addition to this, it also stores waste products. Next, we have centrosome. The centrosome organelle is made up of 2 mutually perpendicular structures known as centrioles. Each centriole is composed of 9 equally spaced peripheral fibrils of tubulin protein, and the fibril is a set of interlinked triplets. It plays a major role in organizing the microtubule and cell division. The last one is lysosomes. Lysosome is a tiny, circular-shaped, single-membrane-bound organelles filled with digestive enzymes. And lysosomes also helps in the digestion and remove waste and digest dead and damaged cells. Therefore, it's also called as the suicidal bags. Okay, the next one we have about prokaryote cells. Prokaryotic cells are single-celled microorganisms. Basically, it's known to be the earliest on Earth. That's why prokaryotes include bacteria and archaea. The photosynthetic prokaryotes include cyanobacteria that perform photosynthesis. So here we have a characteristic of prokaryote. First, they lack a nuclear membrane. Second, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, chloroplasts, and lysosomes are absent. Third, the genetic material is present on a single chromosome. Next, we have cell structure about prokaryotic cells. The first one is about capsule. So the capsule is one outer protective covering found in the bacterial cells. It helps in moisture retention, protects the cell when engulfed, and helps in the attachment of cells to nutrients and surface. Next, we have about cell wall. From this picture, we can know that it's the outermost layer of the cell which gives shape to the cell. Next, we have cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is mainly composed of enzymes, cells, cell organelles, and is a gel-like component. After that, we have about cell membrane. Cell membrane is layer surrounds the cytoplasm that regulates the entry and exit of substance in the cells. Next, we have pili. Pili is these are hair-like outgrowths that attach to the surface of other bacterial cells. Also, we have flagella. Flagella are long structures in the form of a whip that help in the locomotion of a cell. Next one is ribosomes. These are involved in protein synthesis, of course. Next, we have plasmids. Plasmids are non-chromosomal DNA structures. These are not involved in reproduction. The next one is ribosomes. Ribosomes is already done. And next is plasmids. So plasmids are non-chromosomal DNA structures. These are not involved in reproduction also. Next, we have nucleoid region. It's region in the cytoplasm where the genetic material is present. Okay, so here we are presentate about cell structure from us, especially from me, from Mazaya, and from Taqiy. Thank you so much for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.